Icon Radio.
Good morning. The show is The Race. I'm your host here, Newton Khavusi. It is Icon Radio. Catch us on www.iconradio.co.ke. Every Monday, 8 to 9 a.m., I bring you the hottest political show in town, The Race, where we are bold, authentic, and fearless. And today, I have two fearless figures in the studio today. We are in a political season, and we talk politics. They are bold, they are authentic, they have been here before, and they are great minds. Not to mention, they are so youthful. I can't believe it. Welcome to the show. My first guest is Oyola David. Oyola, salimia wananchi bana.
Good morning, everyone. We're glad to be here.
Yes, thank you very much. My second guest hails from Kakamega. Anaitwa nani?
Khavusi. I'm here.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming to the show. Our listeners today, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. That is Icon Radio KE, the biggest political show in town. We are bold, authentic, and fearless. As we begin this today, we have Sagana 3. Chris.
Yes.
Is Sagana 3, what is the new thing that is going to come on?
There's nothing new.
Are you sure?
Of course, yes. We expect the president,
Yes.
who is the kingpin of Mount Kenya region, to go and lament to his people, because actually he's used to lamenting. This is not the first time. You remember the time of the BBI thing?
Yes.
Then when he had the meeting, then we had the Tuesday terrific, when all the county assemblies within the Mount Kenya region passed the billion without reading. So he's going to lament as usual, but the truth of the matter is the ground is not with him. Because you know Mount Kenya people, majority of Mount Kenya are business people, and the president has mismanaged the economy to that extent. I don't think those guys will listen to him.
You sure?
Of course they will not.
You don't think he has the mindset? Well, what do you think?
Duale told us last year
Yes.
that the first term of the president, the person who was running government was William Samoei Ruto, the deputy president. That is Duale who said it. Who in Kenya Kwisha allowance looks like the deputy president right now. He's the one who told us that. So how can you say that Uhuru mismanaged the economy, where the person who mismanaged the economy is the Kenya Kwisha allowance candidate, where the guy from Kakamega comes from? Let us be honest.
No, you know, Oyola, Chris, I know.
Wait a minute. So many Kenyans have to understand that.
Yes.
On the public expenditure, when the budget policy statement is read and passed by Parliament,
Yes.
it goes to State House for the President to assent, because the bill, he has to assent to it. Then after that, he puts what you call it is put on what you call the President's seal, the authority to incur expenditure.
Yes.
That seal,
Yes.
it is the President's seal. It's
Yes.
a seal from the President.
Yes.
So when you say that Ruto was mismanaging the economy or managed the economy the first time,
Yes.
so you're saying that the president was not the one signing that seal?
No, it is not a matter of signing. If I have to understand, if I have to understand, Chris, I know you are Kenya Kwanza.
No, wait a minute. You see, you cannot. I'm not talking.
Yes.
So when estimates have been when they have allocated money to institutions of government,
Yes.
so you cannot tell me that the DP that was running that does DP run judiciary? It is not. Does DP run KEMSA? No.
Yes.
Does DP run NEMA?
Yes.
No. Does DP run Kenya Ports? No.
Yes.
So when you say that the DP mismanaged the economy, I'm wondering. You get?
I wanted to tell Kenya Kwanza, at least let me try to be correct.
Yes.
That it's called Kenya Kwanza. I heard people out there, many Kenyans are calling it Kenya Kwisha. I don't know what they mean by that. Maybe they don't have faith in these guys.
Yes.
But Kibaki was able to succeed because he had a supervisor of government who was in the name of Prime Minister.
Prime Minister.
The Prime Minister was the person who was supervising the government, all ministries.
Yes.
Wanafanya kazi aje, how much are they spending, what is their budget estimates, and that is how Kibaki succeeded. Remember, Kibaki did not succeed in the first term. He succeeded in the second term. Now, when Kibaki now was concentrating on the state politics, then Prime Minister was concentrating on the government politics. Remember, the president, right now as we have it, President Uhuru is the head of state and head of government. It means there are two institutions separate here. So Kibaki, the National Accord separated the Kenyan society. Ikaweka Kibaki concentrate kwa state politics na Raila concentrate kwa government section that is in charge of service delivery. When Kibaki went and President Uhuru and William Ruto came to power, now they agreed 50-50 government.
50-50.
URP 50, Jubilee, TNA 50. But Ruto was given a role of supervision of government, which was taken juicy by Matiang'i. And they have been complaining over it, that now he has no role. His role was given to Matiang'i, which is just supervising ministries. How comes that when Raila was a prime minister, doing the same job that William is doing, there was enough money, everything was going on so well. But now when you give it to William, there's a lot of problems. You see, sometimes when I listen to Kenya Kwisha Kenya Kwanza Alliance, sorry. When they tell us about these big things, about bottom up, about top bottom, what, I just look at them and I just say,
funny thing, eh?
You must give me a right.
Funny thing.
You don't.
The show is becoming hot and hot.
To reply, my friend. You spoke about Mwai Kibaki the first time.
Yes.
In the first time of Mwai Kibaki, he expanded. First of all, he did free primary education. Then he expanded the funding to the universities. He did a number of things. Just to mention a few. The second term, that was now the coalition government thing, it was full of complaints, and the biggest achievement of the coalition government was the constitution. You get. The basis, yes, it's the constitution. We passed the second term of Kibaki. That's when we passed the what?
No,
wait a minute, my friend. You cannot cut me short. Okay. You can't. Now. I have told you the issue of the cash flow. It's about the cash flow in the economy. It's not about the supervision. You get. In the first place, there's delay in the release of exchequer from national treasury, and you've seen counties complaining and ministries. So it's not an issue of supervision. It's not that because Raila was now supervising that there was money.
So let me ask you, Chris. Let me ask you, Chris.
Ask me.
Oyola mentioned a point that
I was responding, but now
just a minute before you respond. Oyola asked something and commented that Ndwale has consistently told us that indeed William Ruto was running government in the first term. So where you sit, how was he doing that? Because it is Ndwale who said that.
In the first place, I cannot comment authoritatively because I was not a member of. I am not a member of Jubilee, and that's why I was not. Neither was I a member of URP and TNA. So I cannot authoritatively say whether it is true or is a lie. You get. But if Ndwale said, then Ndwale, who was the majority leader at that time, then he knows more than I do. You get. In the first place, sometimes it's good to be honest.
Very true.
Which our brothers here lack honesty. They want to win. They want to win. They lack the honesty. So if Ndwale say that, he might have been right, or he might have been wrong.
He's right.
But then you ask yourself, where was the president when the deputy president was running the government? Then, if it is true, it is the deputy president that was running the government between the first term. Then the second term, you want to measure the success of a government, the efficiency of a government. Number one, you look at how they release the exchequer, the timely release of the exchequer. When the exchequer is delaying to be released, that government is in problems. Number two, the payment, the timely payment of suppliers of goods and services and government contractors. When you find that a government is busy, the suppliers and contractors of that government are busy complaining, then there's a problem. Number three, look at the number of the supplementary budgets. That government runs. This government has not even 4 supplementary budgets in a year. So what are you telling us that we've had efficiency in the second term of Uhuru Kenyatta?
My question would be,
Chris,
from where you sit.
The
other day we saw the team Kenya Kwisha or Kenya Kwanza Alliance.
You're taking sides in this thing. You know?
No, I'm not taking sides.
taking
No, I'm
sides.
just saying
You're taking sides.
whatever that has been presented to us.
Yes.
They held a press conference at
yeah.
Serena.
In a hotel, reading
In
a
a
newspaper.
hotel,
Yes.
reading a statement
Yes.
about lowering economic prices or
Yeah.
something, lowering food
prices,
prices
yeah.
and all that. And you see, if you look at that, the people who were in front spearheading this
Seriously.
change of policies
Yes.
was standing there issuing this press statement, Chris.
Yes.
Deputy President.
Yes.
Kindure Kindiki was by then the majority leader in the Senate. Almost
Duale
everyone.
was the
Duale was the
majority
majority
leader.
leader in the National Assembly.
Deputy President William Ruto was standing immediately there.
Who is the supervisor?
Who is the supervisor?
Who read the statement?
The person-
Wycliffe Mudavadi.
The person who read the statement
Yes.
is the same person who said in 2015
Yes.
that we are over borrowing, we are overspending, and we are overstealing.
Yes.
That was what Musalia read in 2015.
We are over.
Not even
Over borrowing,
Yes.
overspending, and
And
overstealing.
on 23rd of January.
Just hold your thought. We'll be right back. This is Icon Radio. The show is the race. We are bold, authentic, and fearless. Tune in on www.iconradio.co.ke. We'll be right back.
Icon Radio.
Welcome back. The show is the race. And I'm telling you, Oyola left us with overspending, overstealing, and overborrowing. Chris.
Yes.
Hey.
know,
How much did you eat?
Let me tell you. Musalia's statements,
Yes.
or Musalia's position on corruption,
Yes.
the things he believes in this country, has not changed. As much as he has joined William Ruto and they're working together. On 23rd of January 2022, Musalia had an NDC.
Yes.
And the things he spoke about, even Ruto was there. And Musalia said, even some of the things that we call the public-private partnership,
Yes.
they're being done by the people in the government who don't even pay taxes. The government of Kenya, led by Uhuru Kenyatta, has not come out clear to tell us the truth about it. You get? And Musalia is not just an ordinary Kenyan. Musalia, remember, has served as vice president and has also served as finance minister and deputy prime minister. He has held a number of positions in government.
5 ministries.
Yes,
Five
of course,
ministries.
yes, of course, yes.
With nothing to show for it.
Yes, it doesn't matter. I can. We shall come to that.
Because
Yes.
Mululu hata hakuna maji.
We shall come to that. People
Yes.
think that one day when you become a minister,
Yes.
you will have to do some things in your home. You know, it doesn't go like that.
No.
Yes, it doesn't go like that. So what you're saying, Musalia was in a mission of serving the nation,
Yes.
and not serving his home people.
So in his position,
Yes.
in those position he has done,
Yeah.
Any track record?
what will you say that he has done for this country?
In
Because
this
you're saying
country.
serving the country.
Yes, number one.
Yes.
That one I will jump into very fast.
Yes.
Musalia Mudavadi
Yes.
when he was a finance, remember he came into the finance docket when the country had a lot of we had just come from an election in 1992, and there was a lot of money in the economy. And remember we had lost most of our development partners, IMF, World Bank, them. They were not here.
Yes.
He was able to convince them when they came back.
Yes.
So if you cannot recognize that one
Yes.
as having worked for the country,
Yes.
then I think you're not really
I know.
you're not truthful. Number two, my friend.
Yes.
You listen.
I know he has no second one. But
Number
let's
two.
yes.
Number two.
Yes.
Musalia Mudavadi was able to bring up a bill that was able to put CBK as an independent institution, as in opposed to when the likes of Saitoto were ministers of finance and all that.
Yes.
They used to steal money from CBK. People used to steal money from CBK because CBK was an extension of national treasury.
Yes.
So they used to mismanage it. Number three, Musalia Mudavadi was able to bring a law that says you can only serve as a CBK governor for only 2 terms. When Musalia's mother died, one called James Orengo, I don't know which party does he belong to.
Oh dear.
He stood up in Mululu and he said, it is this Musalia here who created Teacher Service Commission.
Yes.
Yes. At the same time, somebody
But again,
wait a minute. You've said he has done nothing for this country.
Chris.
No, we have to enumerate. And let me tell you.
Just hold on that
Yes,
thought.
yes,
Yes.
yes.
You said he created the Teacher
Service Commission.
Do you know
How
that as we sit
stress.
here today,
Yes.
the
Walimu ne.
teachers
Yes.
are crying
Yeah.
about this teacher service commission?
It is not Musalia's problem.
It is.
No, but you see,
Wait a minute.
is.
Wait a minute.
Yes.
You give birth to a child, you carry the burden.
Yes.
Even the medics, the medics are wishing that when the constitution was being drafted,
Yes.
they would have proposed to have a medical something.
Service commission.
Yes, yes.
No, the problem in
Wait
this
a
country
minute,
is
wait
not
a
having
minute.
those commissions.
It's not a commission is not a problem. You
Yes.
get?
Yes.
The teachers are crying today because Nancy Macharia is really mismanaging Teacher Service Commission.
Yes.
And on instruction of Uhuru Kenyatta, not Musalia Mudavadi. So Musalia creating Teacher Service Commission and being mismanaged today, those are two different things. The question is who's in power today? Who's controlling the state?
It is the
I
president.
I was still enumerating. I was still enumerating
we have got-
Yes,
so that
yes.
they can respond. One called Oparanya Wycliffe.
Yes.
Which party does he belong to?
ODM.
Oparanya stood up in Musalia in Mululu and he said,
Yes.
it is this Musalia Mudavadi
Yes.
who brought devolution in the constitution. Oparanya saying, you can Google that one. You can check. Yes.
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 What are you guys saying?
So does Oparanya has to lie before his party leader? When Raila Odinga was
we
there?
don't know.
You don't know.
We don't
You can
know.
check. You can check.
He's
You
a
can check.
politician.
Of course.
You see, I wanted to answer my friend here
Yes,
before
yes,
I forget.
yes.
Please let us give Oyola some right of reply.
I
Yes,
wanted to tell my friend
Yes.
Tell me.
that CBK is not independent.
It is semi-autonomous.
CBK is a government institution.
Yes.
In fact, when you go deep, you realize that even government has no control over CBKs across the world.
Yeah.
Those are people's businesses run by the Rothschilds in the US.
Yeah.
Those are their banks.
Yeah.
Because you cannot print money when the Rothschilds do not agree how much dollars should be in your account. American Reserve Bank, it's not for American government. It is for those people.
Yeah.
That is how, when you go further, you realize.
But what
So
about us?
when
Give
World
us
Bank,
the situation of Kenya.
when World Bank and IMF, which is controlled by those people,
Yes.
bribed Musalia to set up for them a bank here called CBK.
Yes.
So-
Oyola, we are, on this show we are always authentic.
Yes. Yeah. So
How
I
authentic
have
are
already
you
told
with the,
you.
with the bribery
I have
allegations
told- I
against
have-
Musalia?
I have-
when you
I
say
have
that
already
CBK
told
is
you.
a private members organization,
Of course it is.
It is in the constitution. please.
Which constitution?
Of the Constitution of Kenya.
But they mean, but so one thing I wanted to tell my friend.
Yes. Tell me.
Musalia did not do us a favor.
Yeah.
We were paying him salary.
Of course. Yes.
So those things you have listed,
Yeah.
He was being paid for.
he was being paid for.
Yes.
But
Very
from-
painfully.
Yes.
That he was being
From
paid
taxpayers'
for.
money.
If you look at the salary that Musalia was earning at that time,
Yes.
and the kind of wealth he has right now,
Yes.
it is not going together.
Yeah.
It does not match.
It does not match.
You saw the other day.
So it's too poor.
Not too poor.
Not too poor.
He's too rich beyond the means that he was
Excessively
salary.
We don't discuss.
Mwenye kona
because
mandege mbili, helicopter mbili.
we don't discuss.
Number
No,
three.
but you see, again, Chris, when
Yes.
you say that we don't discuss our leaders well,
Yeah.
you
We
know, as a
must.
country,
Yeah.
and I remember this a leader who mentioned one day that if we don't take care, we'll have a Kenya of 10 millionaires and 100 million
Poor.
beggars.
Beggars.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah. Karaoke.
Damn.
Yeah, jam karaoke.
You get me?
Yeah.
So don't you think it is our right as Kenyans to know how our leaders are making
You know,
it
there's
work?
no
He will
problem.
pick it.
But
I was-
in the
I-
context.
Let us allow.
I wanted to. I don't want him to forget
Yes.
that we don't have a problem with the Musalia as in Azimio.
Yes.
Musalia is not our target because we know Musalia will not be in the ballot. He will not vie for any MCA. He will not vie for governor for Vihiga, neither Senate or women rep. Musalia will not even vie for presidency.
He's going to be an escort guy.
Musalia is an escort. So umejua ile escort ukinini alafu na nini maneno inaenda hivyo.
No, make it-
Because
make your
because
statement-
we know in
make
One
clear.
Kenya Alliance,
Shoot straight.
One Kenya
Don't shoot
Alliance,
straight.
One Kenya Alliance has got one presidential candidate,
Yes.
who is William Kipchirchir Ruto. You know,
But
that is
you
the
know,
official
you're
name
talking
of
about
William
two
Ruto.
different-
Samoa is not his
My
name.
friend, we are in Kenya Kwanza. You talk about
Yeah,
Kenya
Chris, let us
Alliance.
give. Let us give.
I'm not One Kenya Alliance, yani Kenya Kwanza.
Yes.
You know, it is it's Kenya hapo ndani mingi
One Kenya
sana.
Alliance it belongs
One
to Raila Odinga
Kenya
and,
Kwanza-
and Gideon Moi.
Kenya Kwanza's candidate is William Ruto, and there is no doubt about it.
Yes.
That is why if I meet any a person who looks like a person who's from ANC, like my friend Chris here,
Yeah.
when I look at him, I look at the cloth he wear. Okay, it is ANC, but his heart, his heart, ukifungua roho yake hivi,
Yes.
open,
Yes.
you are UDA.
UDA is there.
So he is a UDA guy.
Yeah.
He's even saying hi. And so I want us to get it straight,
Yes.
that Musalia is not our target. our target is that Kenyans will do everything possible to make sure that his candidate, who is William Kipchirchir Ruto, does not become president. Because we have seen he has failed. He has failed as a supervisor of national government. If there was a construction that you are building an apartment like this, and Chris is the supervisor, if anything goes wrong, you will not go first of all to the Mjengo people. Ni yeye ndiye anajua hao watu. It is him who supervises these people. If companies associated to deputy president are paid promptly, plus wale wana supply poles za stima, we know who they are, wale wana supply hewa, wale wana supply kimwarer, aror, they are paid promptly. Until even him he said, pesa mingi imepotea hapa kuna, pesa imepotea hapa ni bilioni 7, which means he's aware. How comes that Chris supply a box of condoms to hospitals is not being paid? Lakini ule mkubwa wake mwenye ana support sahi, makampani zake zote zililipwa. Na ndio maana amenunua Chris sahi na hiyo pesa. Na yeye kampani yake hajalipwa. So what we are saying is simple. What we are saying as Kenyans is that a time has come that now we have to make sure that tumetoa ule mbwa mwitu amevaa ile ngozi ya kondoo ambao mimi nikiona Chris hapa mimi naona tu ni kondoo ya kawaida, lakini ndani yake ni mbwa mwitu.
Oyola, let me tell you something. And this one has to Kenya Kwanza Alliance at the moment. It has not declared their candidates.
Are you sure?
Have they?
So when are they declaring?
Wait a minute, they'll declare when
they have
the timelines. So
the timelines come.
There'll be the timelines of IBC.
Let us give him the.
You honestly think that Musalia can be president, candidate above William Ruto?
Yes,
and the amount of
this is the same way. This is the same way you guys try to prop up Kalonzo Musyoka so that they can bring problems in One Kenya Alliance. And we left One Kenya Alliance for Kalonzo Musyoka. Today they're meeting with Raila Odinga, and the man stands up and tells people, we know some funny kind of things, Yes, we know One Kenya Alliance and the ODM is one and the same. We have no problem about that. But the things of Kenya Kwanza Alliance, please leave it to Kenya Kwanza Alliance members to make decisions. Right? So we shall make the right decision at the right time.
But how can
so at the moment we shall not try to help you address.
You see, we must talk about it because either of them can be my president.
Yes.
I have a candidate.
Yes.
He might be president, he might not be.
Yes.
He has a candidate who might be or not. He has every right to critique and ask my candidates questions because he is likely to be his president. The same way I have every right to ask him about William Ruto, who is his candidate.
No, you're maligning our candidates. First of all, you began by maligning Musalia Mudavadi. Then you've got it to William Ruto. So we shall understand you because we know the ODM guys are never... all these guys, Musalia was on ODM and the Ruto was in ODM. So the pain we understand where it's coming from. That this guy at one point were with them and seemingly... And
by the way, Newton, do you know Prime Minister Raila Odinga gave the post that was belonging to William Ruto to Musalia? Look at how these people are ungrateful. Yet Musalia brought nothing to ODM.
Are you sure?
He brought nothing. In 2007, in 2007, the agreement, the MOU in ODM for the principles was that Raila, if he wins the one election, the Prime Minister Raila Odinga would be president, deputized by Musalia as a vice president. William Ruto would be prime minister, deputized by Balala, and either Ngilu or Nyaga, Joe Nyaga. But now they never won elections. Prime Minister that was supposed to be given to William, now there was an agreement in the National Accord that in the ODM, there is a second runner who controls the National Assembly. Normally, a prime minister is a person with a majority in the National Assembly. Wakasema mwenye akona wabunge wengi kwa National Assembly kwa bunge ni Raila Odinga. So let us give him kazi ya prime minister ambayo inakuanga ni supervision or running government. Tukipatia rais kazi ya control the state. So they give Raila prime minister. Raila akasema, wacha tu nipatie hii kijana mdogo huu Musalia, mtoto wa Mululu. Akapatia Musalia two big things. Musalia was the first governor. First governor. Wachana na hii ingine hii. Because he was the minister for local governments. Local governments zilikuwa kama counties. Budget yote Musalia alikuwa na run.
7 counties was that.
Imagine governor mmoja Musalia. Number 2, he was a deputy na hiyo hata hiyo ya local government. Tunasikia tu kuna kazi alifanya. Tunasikia saa hii hata ukienda Lang'ata hapa unasikia au wafu wenye wamekufa huko bado wanalilia Musalia. mtu alichole kwa gazeti kama umeinua mkono mwizi because there was a scandal about Langata land cemetery which Musalia was involved. In fact, that scandal went so far until it sacrificed Gakuo died in prison because of land, because of sacrifice. Musalia sacrificed him. He died in prison. And therefore, what I'm saying, there is no excuse about Musalia's performance. If he has worked, we will see.
Yes.
Prime Minister Raila Odinga has worked. We can see. President Uhuru Kenyatta has worked. We can see. Tell me even one cemetery that has been dug in the name of Musalia as the only work he has done.
Hey, this is
not a grave dug.
This is Icon Radio.
My friend.
We are taking a short break. We'll be right back. The show is the race. It's heated like never before.
I'll come back to that. You tonight.
Icon Radio.
Welcome back. The show is the race. It is iconradio.co.ke. We are bold, authentic, and fearless. The show is hot. I have fearless guys in studio today. Youthful, meaning the future is great for our country. Because if we relent as young people, then we don't have a country in a few years to come. We have to stand up, we have to protect, and we have to instill politics of principle as we move forward. What you're saying is, as young people, there's nothing for us without us. Chris.
Yes.
You wanted to respond to Oyola. Hey, the studio has been hot.
You know, the ODM brigade that sank in the past.
Yes.
And without facts. Yes. My friend here has talked about very serious things about Musalia and William Ruto and ODM in particular.
Yes.
My point is this. While in ODM, Ruto never, when they went for a nomination contest in Kasarani, Musalia emerged number 2. Yes. So Ruto was never seen as than Musalia in ODM. Facts.
Yes.
You get?
Yes.
When you check the records of the ODM key financials, Musalia Mudavadi and Owino came up very strongly for ODM. Ruto was nowhere. And he still was in ODM. And so when you come and say, and when you look at the support base of Musalia Mudavadi, the people that Musalia leads, and compare to what Ruto leads, you know, you just laugh at when ODM make their statements, you just laugh at them. You just laugh at them. So when you come here on a national radio like this one and say that, you know, Raila Odinga did a favor to Musalia Mudavadi by giving him the position of the deputy prime minister, Ruto was never senior than Musalia Mudavadi in ODM, and he even knows. Yes. And even Raila Odinga, when he was interviewed recently, when he was interviewed on a local radio station, when he was asked that Ruto said that he helped you so much, Raila Odinga said, I think it's a lie, and he said, people like Musalia who even did so much, they don't even talk about it. But if people who did very little, talking about it. So I want to ask Oyola that please, in politics, and especially national politics, there are almost like 3 things that determine who you are. Number 1, the local support that you have, that you bring on board. Number 2, the finance that you bring, because actually it's about expenditure. Who can incur expenses on behalf of the party. Number 3, it is the international network. So which one was Ruto having more than Musalia?
That question will be answered very straightforward. I will not even spend much time in it.
Please don't.
Because he also has an answer to that question.
No.
The answer is simple. That now that Musalia was much more superior than Ruto, Ruto was a nobody, how comes now that Musalia has now come and is now supporting William Ruto, who was his junior, by all standards. In fact, by the time Musalia was a minister, at 27 years, William Ruto was still in university,
but you see,
singing in the CU. And saa hii, William huyo mdogo huyo mwenye Musalia alipata Musalia kwa serikali kama ni waziri. Sasa ndio Musalia ndio chief campaigner yake ya president.
We know.
So it tells you that William was still senior even in 2007.
He wasn't. we know it polices ODM and this brigade. You know, they have, that's what I told you in the beginning. They began by propping Kalonzo Musyoka and trying to make him, look like, the things that Kalonzo did in 2013. He's still doing them today. Yeah. When he tried to do those things with Musalia Mudavadi. Mwai Kibaki was when he was crafting the East succession. He brought Kalonzo Musyoka and he told him, "I want you to work behind Uhuru Kenyatta," so that Kalonzo refused. And he told Mike Kibaki, "These are junior boys. I cannot work behind them, or I cannot work with them."
Yes.
What happened? They became Uhuru Kenyatta they formed government. Kalonzo remained in opposition.
And Musalia.
Yes. Of course, Musalia was on his own. Musalia was not in any camp. He was on his own and he lost. Yes. And he accepted. You get. But there's another group. There's another group that lost, did not accept, and left the country, went to South Africa to sit under a mango tree when Uhuru Kenyatta was being sworn in. And that group is known. So those are facts.
That's a very serious allegation.
Those are facts. No, those are facts.
That's a very serious allegation.
So the same thing is also happening.
Yes.
When we were in One Kenya Alliance,
yes.
Musalia was in One Kenya Alliance, they kept on saying, and these things come from ODM. Oh, Kalonzo is more senior than Musalia. So, Kalonzo has more age. Kalonzo has a solid base. So when Musalia makes a move, they talk about Musalia Mudavadi more than any other person.
But again,
wait, my friend, when I was talking, you did not interrupt. Let me make my point, then you can make your...
Please, yes.
So, today and in fact, Ruto came to our function. We did not go to Ruto's function. Those are two different things. You get? Those are two different things. In the
but you see, UDA will be having their NDC on 15th
we shall also
March,
be invited.
Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
We shall also be invited. Yeah, the same way Kalonzo invited Raila Odinga, and we did not feel anything.
But
we did not say that Kalonzo Musyoka is going to, such kind of things.
I appreciate that, but something very critical.
I have made my point clear. Yes, and I think I've clarified something.
Gentlemen, there's something very critical here.
Yes.
And as we move forward, the impact of Kalonzo Musyoka.
Yes.
Because as we see, he's trying to make his appeal to the Azimio guys.
Yeah.
Will Kalonzo be committing a political suicide if he happens to go that direction?
I wanted to answer him what he was saying.
Please, just use 1 minute to do that.
Previously.
Yes.
Of course, Kalonzo will not be making any mistake because unlike Musalia,
yes.
Kalonzo is the only presidential candidate who can count his votes. And he knows exactly where they are. Only Kalonzo and Raila Odinga can count their votes.
How many votes each?
Kalonzo vied in 2008.
But as you respond
how many
to
votes?
2007. He got 800,000.
As you respond to that,
Yes.
Oyola, remember, Kalonzo is going to Azimio
Yes.
after the 3 governors.
Yes.
That is the Makueni governor, that is Kitui governor,
And
the Machakos governor.
I agree with
Already
you.
in Azimio.
I agree
Don't you
with
think Kalonzo going to Azimio will make him look...
No. Bana Kambas, every region have got their kingpins.
Yes.
Kambas, Bado, Kingpin, wao ni Kalonzo. Those governors are just giving Kalonzo pressure so that he can make decisions earlier.
So he
should not go to
the other side.
To Kenya Kwisha.
Yes.
Because he can complicate a lot of... Hata kienda na 20%, which I know UDA, where my friends come from here, cannot get in Ukambani. It can be very bad. I was saying, Kalonzo and Raila are the only 2 presidential candidates so far, aspirants actually, because they are not yet cleared by IEBC, so they are not candidates. Yes. They are just aspirants. Yes. Who can count their votes and say, I think when I'm starting with this number.
How many are Raila starting? How many?
Because Raila has vied 4 times,
yes.
So he can do permutation. No, this is the 5th one.
Okay,
yeah. He's now,
you lose the 5th time.
He can't. Because, God worked things out. The 5th time, the 5th president.
The 5th
Newton in 2007, Kalonzo vied and he got 800,000 votes.
Yes. That is serious.
Musalia Mudavadi vied in 2013. He got 483,000, less than 500,000.
Yes.
In fact, I wanted to tell my friend here that even when looking at the base, Western Kenya, the 4 counties of Western Kenya, plus the 5th one, which is in Trans Nzoia, they gave Raila a combined vote of 900,000. It was not even 1 million.
Yes. In which year?
Use it 2007 here.
Yes. Yes.
The data are with the IBC. You can just add.
What about the Luyas who stay in Nairobi?
Now, that is now extra. I'm talking about even us, there are Luos in Nyanza and there are those ones. There are Kambas in Ukambani, there are Kambas here.
No, they cannot be compared to Luyas who stay in Nairobi.
There are many more than here.
Where?
There are more than in Western.
But again, if you look at it, if you look at the figures of 400,000, Did the 400,000 from Sale include the lawyers in?
Were they purely lawyers?
Or it was just
the 2013 the 2013 dynamics of 2013 cannot be brought in there.
No, they can be brought. He was a candidate.
Of course, it is.
You know, I've
Like
always
Kalonzo.
I've always been clear that
Yes.
there are some political parties that don't appreciate history,
Yeah.
and I don't know why.
UDA, where my friend come from. UDA.
Uhuru Kenyatta lost a parliamentary seat in 1997.
Yes.
Yes. So and to a
But who was the competitor?
Wait a minute.
Who was
To
the
an
competitor?
unknown person in this country.
Who?
No, Uhuru was
Kenyatta
vying.
Wait a minute. Uhuru Kenyatta came and became an opposition leader. My friend, in 2002, Uhuru Kenyatta posed a very serious challenge to Mike Back, and he was the opposition leader. 2002, 2007. So
No, 2007 he was not political. He was not opposition.
I've given a period, a range.
Yes.
2002, 2007, Uhuru Kenyatta was an opposition leader.
Yes.
Yes. So which
Actually,
one
Uhuru
is-
Kenyatta became opposition leader for 2 years.
For 2 years only.
Then he
Why
crossed
joined
the floor.
government?
Why?
Yes. After Raila resigned.
No, in which was that? 2005.
Yes.
But what substantively he was the official opposition leader between 2002 and 2007.
No, he crossed the floor. You see what happened, Newton, in
Yeah.
1960s, eh?
Yes, yes.
Tom Mboya did something. By then, when Jaramogi was finding a lot of fights, Tom Mboya brought 2 wars. The first war, he made sure that every province had a vice president of the party. That means they were trying to neutralize Jaramogi.
Yes.
They went ahead. By that time, the constitution we had, the Lancaster, it is
Lancaster, yeah.
it is the Lancaster constitution.
Yes, yes.
Ilikuwa nasema that if majority cross the floor
Yes.
from opposition into government,
Yes.
the opposition dies. The same way,
Yes.
if majority can cross from government to opposition,
Yes.
the government dies.
Yes.
So because Tom Mboya, through his proxies in government and Iniwa Kinanjonjo,
Yes.
that Jaramogi was controlling National Assembly. Our majama, if they cross the floor,
Yes.
they will go to opposition side and they will form government. Nani will lose, Kenyatta will lose. So he brought an amendment in the constitution.
Yes.
Akasema, when you cross the floor and you go to either sides,
Yes.
you must go back to the ground.
Yes. You must be elected.
You must be elected again.
Yes.
Then watu wakaanza kuogopa because kurudingi yuko chini tena ukulwe tena pesa. Inakuwa
No politician
Inakuwa
likes
noma.
a by-election.
Nobody.
Yes.
And therefore what we are saying here is very simple. And I'm repeating to my UDA friend here.
Yeah.
We do not have a...
You see UDA, yes.
ANC and
Ama
UDA.
they become one at the moment
No,
they
Talk
marry.
about Kenya Kwanza or ANC.
You know Newton.
ANC, not
This guy is owning the wife.
ANC.
No. Mto Kubwa, it is joined by a small river.
Yes.
A big river has never joined a small river.
ANC.
This week, we realized that Deputy President has spent almost 20 billion
Oh, no.
since he started his campaign 4 years ago.
How do you know
And
that?
we have seen how capital intensive
How
His
serious?
campaign has
he has been. Every stop that he makes, he doesn't spend less than 2 million shillings.
Yes.
And you can imagine how many campaigns that my friend William, my former MP
Yeah.
in Eldoret North, has campaigned.
Yeah.
So if Musalia now comes with a small millions and some small people, one MP and Wakina Chris,
But
really,
Oyola,
really,
this aspect of Kalonzo Musyoka.
Kalonzo Musyoka is going to
Before I comment
Azimio.
on that, you know,
Kalonzo Musyoka is heading to Azimio.
Newton, you're becoming unfair. You are unfair to me. You are unfair to me, my friend.
No,
You are unfair to me. Huh?
Yes.
You are unfair to me.
you're just going to opposition.
You began with the Kalonzo thing. The man deviated, went to Raila and you what? You also you go back to him and ask him about Kalonzo again. What's wrong with you? We must learn to stick.
What are your thoughts?
He had
My
already
thoughts are
said
this.
Kalonzo
What are
is-
your thoughts? What are your
My
thoughts
thoughts are these,
with the move Kalonzo will make to us?
Kalonzo automatically it is known. And when we were in one Kenya lands, we knew Kalonzo belongs to the other camp.
And we also knew
And that's
Musalia would
why.
belong to the other camp.
That's why. No, you were talking. I didn't. I was just
Oh.
quiet. And that's why.
Yes.
And that's why when he invites Raila to his function,
Yes.
we didn't walk out. When we invite our friends to our function, the man walks out. So he's a man of double speak. As much as he pretends to be, a God-fearing man and all
We also
that.
invited Kalonzo,
Yeah.
and never came.
Yeah. So what you're saying is this: Kalonzo's move. It is just delaying the whole thing, but it is known Kalonzo's going to Azimio. But you see, when the ground is saying no, don't go there.
Which
That's
ground?
why. That's why it's taking time.
Which ground?
The Ukambani people are not for.
They don't want to go to Azimio.
Remember,
which-
Kalonzo is the only. He has said it's on record. He will be a stupid man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The same thing was even Musalia saying.
Because the other day also, the other day,
He said he's the stupid man.
Chris,
No, Musalia don't use such kind of strong words.
Chris,
Like Kalonzo used
let us
to.
be honest.
Musalia said chupa.
Yes.
See, he used an example of a bottle.
Yeah. He said, but chupa, he was giving, that was
Bottom up.
symbolic.
Kula yote.
But now Kalonzo said he will be a stupid man. So when he joins the other
So he'll become stupid.
He will confirm his stupidity. we shall tell him here on this radio.
The show is the race. I'm your host here, Newton, and my guests are on fire. But when we come back, I want us to look at something. The politics of principle. The other day, we had an NDC from the Democratic Party of Kenya. Justin Beda Muturi was crowned as the party leader and the presidential flag bearer. Is his move going to make changes in the political arithmetic of this country? Don't go away, because we'll be right back on www.iconradio.co.ke. We're bold, authentic, and fearless.
Icon Radio.
Icon Radio.
Welcome back. The show is the race. And we're bold, authentic, and fearless. The guests in studio today. Oh my. Sio Azimio, Sio Kenya Kwisha. Things are getting tough. But again, before we went on a break, I brought in a different angle. Because Democratic Party, a party that was formed 35 years ago, produced a president, Mwai Kibaki. They came back roaring the other day on Sunday. And the presidential candidate, Justin Beda Muturi, came with radical thoughts on how he's going to guide the country if he becomes the president. Among us, the key things he mentioned is about scrapping off the youth ministry and having young people participate in all the 22 ministries of this country. I don't know how that will go, but I believe that is a chance for the 70% youths of this country to play a role in leadership. Chris,
Yes.
from where you sit,
Yes.
do you think Justin Muturi is going to be a formidable candidate in this election?
Whether it's going to be a formidable candidate or not,
Yes.
it depends on him.
Yes.
Yes, from today.
So far, with whatever he has done, like
Wait a minute.
with the things he
Wait
has
a
changed,
minute.
yes.
The last time I was on this show,
Uh-huh.
I mentioned Justin Muturi and I said he's a good man
Yes.
and the things he has done, the achievement he's made at Parliament.
Yes.
Because he's the chair of the Parliamentary Service Commission.
Yes.
But also as being the Speaker of the National Assembly, the things he has done and he mentioned,
Uh-huh.
not when he spoke
Yes.
recently,
Yes.
but on another show he said
Yes.
he had made what he called the implementation committee. He came up with the implementation committee
Mhm.
to supervise when they pass bills,
Mhm.
when government is supposed to in the implementation.
Yes.
So this committee takes charge
Yes.
to monitor if the government is doing the right thing or not.
Yes.
That one I gave him a plus.
Uh-huh.
Recently, the guy spoke. He spoke well. I think he has a good story. He
Mhm.
has a nice story for young Kenyans, because he said his sister sacrificed.
Mhm.
The sister had to drop out of school so that he can continue.
He can continue.
Yes, yeah. So that is a good story that young people want to hear.
Yes.
Now, and I also went ahead. I also listened keenly.
Yes.
And the man spoke about the things even Musale spoke about, the state Fuliza thing. He spoke about the Fuliza thing.
Yes.
Yes.
Mhm.
So meaning the man is in touch with what's happening in the country.
Yes.
He is a good candidate.
Mhm.
He is I think he's another Kibaki,
Mhm.
and also he's in Kibaki's party.
Yes.
Yes, I just noticed recently that many Kenyans don't know that DP
Yes.
is a president's party.
Yes.
Yes, he's a president's
It
party.
has a good history.
Yes, of course it does. Producing a president is not a joke.
And you know, the other day, I was just mentioning and saying,
Yeah.
because some youth asked me some few questions about it. And I was like, when you're going to look for a job, Oyola, you look for experience.
Yeah.
You know, in this country, we've been subjected to briefcase political parties.
Yeah.
And I think Democratic Party stands out.
Yeah.
I don't know how, but it's a party that has been there in existence for some time. And that gives him also some...
Yeah, briefcase is not a bad thing, because ODM initially was a briefcase party.
ODM has never been
Wait a
briefcase.
minute, before they approached
Which
Mugabe
ODM?
Manyara,
Yes.
Mugabe Manyara sold that thing to to Akina Msalia. It's known, the history is there. But we are on Muturi. Muturi spoke about youth. It's a fallacy. You need to, when you look at the way the youth thing has been handled by the government of Kenya,
Yes.
the youth thing has been fragmented in departments. So, you know, you have Uwezo Fund, you have Youth Fund, you have Sijui what, you have so many things.
Yes.
Talk about the youth, you have Sijui, so many things here and there.
Yes.
But there's no one-stop shop for youth affairs. Just you walk there and all your issues have been addressed.
Yes.
For example, I'll talk about the Youth Fund. The operations of Youth Fund
Yes.
and how banks operate
Yes.
is one and the same. When you ask a youth, you know, he's looking for an LPO financing.
Yes.
Then you ask him for security, which he doesn't have. Because if I had a security, I would have simply walked to the bank, which is more faster. And of course, they know they're getting something out of it. But you know, it's just pathetic. That one I think is right. I think his heart is in the right place.
Yes.
The only thing he needs to do as Muturi, he needs to step up and take his message to Kenyans. Yes. But he has the right message.
Oyola, what do you have to say about the candidate of Justin Muturi? Because he has come out very strongly of recently, and holding that NDC was a shocker to many. A lot of people never thought he would pull such.
Yes.
Do you think he's a candidate to watch in this election?
Yeah, Justin Muturi is a good man.
Yes.
He has brought stability in parliament, and he also looks presidential.
Yes.
You know, there is somebody who looks presidential. Like, not everybody is a father.
Yes.
So others are dad.
Yes.
Others are dadzi. Then others are fathers. They are all men.
Yes.
If you look at Speaker Justin Muturi,
Yes.
he looks like a father.
Yes.
He promises stability. He looks presidential. He doesn't look like a person who wants to take power to revenge over some people,
Yes.
or to do some radical things that is going to sacrifice other people's careers,
Yes.
unlike other people that we know.
Yes.
And therefore, that one, for me, if I look at him, he gives me a promise of stability. He appears more, I don't know whether he's fearless, but he looks fearless like Raila Odinga.
Yes.
In fact, Justin Muturi, he looks bold like Raila Odinga, if I can say the least.
Would you vote for him?
One thing I would only ask Justin Muturi
Yes.
and his team, wherever they are,
Yes.
they need to step up, just like my friend has said here. They need to step up their campaign.
Yes.
They take their message to Kenyans.
Yes.
I want Justin Muturi and his team to make sure that they demystify his bid of presidency, so that he does not appear like an elite candidate. He has to be as ordinary,
As
as down to people
Yes.
as possible. I'm looking forward to a day where maybe I would receive a call from his office
Yes.
that, hey, my friend, where do you come from?
Yes.
I tell him, Speaker, I come from Ndewa.
Yes.
Ndewa is the biggest sub-county in Homa Bay County.
Yes.
We have 100,000 votes in that
Yes.
place.
Yes.
We only have one single road.
Yes.
We have a lot of problems in agriculture.
Yes.
It is the only green constituency in Homa Bay County, the bread basket of the whole county. But it is the only neglected place. I tell him those stories. They tell me, let's do this. We can be able to go down there on one or two things.
Yes.
Then I go to the ground. I organize the people so that Justin Muturi can come.
Yes.
My people can also have a look at him.
Yes.
Because right now we are still seeing him as cartoons. We are not sure whether he's a human being or not. We want to see him in real, physically. My people,
Physically.
my grandchildren, people we grew up with.
He should
they
come
want
to the ground.
They want to see Justin Muturi. That this is the Speaker of National Assembly that we talk about.
Yes.
The way he talks like somebody with the promise of my children.
Wow.
That is when Justin Muturi need to go down.
Wow.
Let him, Nairobi, people in Nairobi know him.
Yes.
My friend has seen him in Nairobi over and over.
Yes.
Mount Kenya know him.
Yes.
They just enthroned him the other day as the kingpin for Mount Kenya.
Yes.
All these places.
Yes.
I want Justin Muturi to come
Yes.
to Nyanza,
Yes.
where we come from,
Yes.
and talk to the people of the lake, the sharpest in the world,
I
where
tell
if you throw a stone, you're
I
likely that grit of sand
I
that you
tell
throw in the crowd is going to hit the head of a graduate. That is Nyanza we're talking about. Justin Muturi need to go down there and talk to my people.
Oh.
Let him demystify his
I
campaign.
hope he's listening to this.
Newton.
I hope he's listening to this wherever he is. Yes.
When you allow people on this show
Yeah.
to begin with grandstanding statements and trying to blow their own trumpets and trying to castigate Justin Muturi as a cartoon, you don't do that. Justin Muturi is a serious man. Yes. Oh, I'm a Msalia person, and you know that.
Yes.
But when serious people speak, you have to say they're serious people.
Yes.
Yes. Justin Muturi is one of them. it cannot be compared to the one that I heard you mention.
I know.
He's a man. Let me tell you.
Let me speak.
You cannot.
Neutral. Let me clarify that part.
On the floor of the house, my friend.
I know. Sometimes,
Yes.
sometimes it can be difficult to understand English. English language is not our language. Is not our mouth.
Yes.
It was brought by Meli to Kenya. I said.
Yes.
My people in the village, they look at Justin Muturi the same way they look at cartoons. Not that he looks like a cartoon, but the same way they watch fiction on TV, things they cannot see.
They want to put a physical.
They want now
eye
the picture of the guy on TV.
Yes.
They want to put a body on it.
A body on
Okay,
it.
fine. I get you.
But again, as we continue to do this, are we as a country late for this?
No.
Because you see,
we are on time.
people are saying, oh, his candidature is coming in a bit late. Others are talking about him not being that strong. But again, as a country, do we have hope that he can just be in time for this particular election?
Yes.
Because previously I've heard him in his speeches, like during the NDC. He mentioned about being just in time. He's not late.
He's not.
So if he ups his game well,
No,
shouldn't be surprised of him being the president.
If he ups his game well,
let me tell you, Newton.
Yeah.
This country, there's a deficiency of good leadership. Yeah. And every Kenyan, because most of the young graduates, people who graduated between 2012 towards the end of 2012,
no hope.
Yes.
And to date,
Yes.
they have no jobs. Majority have no jobs.
Unemployment.
Yes. If they cannot really, the time and the education, they cannot really look at it and say, this is what I've been able to achieve other than the papers they have. You get? So Kenyans are looking at a time when they'll get another Kibaki.
Wow.
Yeah. And the only
And he poses to be another Kibaki.
Yes,
and
another
the- and the-
Kibaki.
and the only
Stable,
people-
predictable.
And the only people who have
Yes.
such kind of character, the only two in this country.
Raila
Number one.
Odinga.
Number one. No, stability is not with Raila Odinga. And it's not the things he has done here, they are not. Number one is Musalia Mudavadi, and then number two is Justin Muturi.
Why not number one, Justin Muturi, and number two, Musalia
No,
Mudavadi?
Musalia Mudavadi began by launching his bid before Muturi. So so you're good like that.
And he launched
in
William.
that order.
Yes.
So, and Muturi spoke very well.
Yes.
And Muturi spoke about something that I don't know if Kenyans are really thinking about him. So Muturi said, it has never happened anywhere on earth or in the world that you find a sitting as a government, uniting with an opposition to form another what? Yet they're in government.
Yes. Political bad man.
No, I agree with what he's saying.
Yes.
But I will only agree to the extent that his candidate, who is William Ruto,
Yes.
told him to forget about history.
Well, let me-
Otherwise, when you go to history,
Yes.
it is littered with those people.
Which people?
From South Africa, when Mandela left it to that opposition leader. No.
Yeah.
Nani, there was an opposition leader, Mandela,
Yes.
left the seat for him.
Why?
Watch at a succession. He left it for him, akasema, I'm relinquishing my seat as president.
Yes.
But you
Watch
cannot-
and eat opposition, akwe president.
You cannot compare Mandela to this masqueraders here. You know, the bar is too high.
We are living in Mandela
No.
moment. my friends.
The bar is too high for Mandela. You know, a man who reaches someone says, I fought for this thing. I want to go and rest. You cannot compare him with some masqueraders here who are running corrupt deals in government here. And it's known. You cannot.
Like Musalia.
Please, I was the one talking.
Yes.
So I was saying, Justin Muturi spoke about something very serious, and if Uhuru Kenyatta has serious people around him, they need to caution him and tell him, look, this is not the way to go. Pause. Begin to think. Come back to your senses and look at some of the things that the decision you want to make. Because going forward, a president, when you go out of office, you also judge based on the succession that you're able to steer. You get? So Uhuru Kenyatta would also be judged based on how he manages succession.
If he doesn't,
So people.
Do you think on that question of succession?
Yeah.
Do you guys believe that Uhuru Kenyatta has the power to?
Yes, he has the power
to influence whoever is going to succeed.
Yes, he does.
Historically,
Are you sure?
Yes, he
historically
does.
in this
Because the other day, let us be honest.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let us face it. I read an article where Raila Odinga's candidature is dwindling
Yeah.
because of the hand of Uhuru Kenyatta in it.
Of course, yeah.
It was written by a UDA fella.
Newton, let me come back to that.
Let us be factual, guys. Let us be factual, Bana. Let us be
If you
factual.
have to go to history,
Yes.
in this country,
I want to
respond.
I want to respond to my friend. And I will still blame them because they were told to forget about history.
Yes.
But us will remind them of history, because it is history that gives us a mirror of where we are heading.
Very
you see, Newton,
yes.
in 1960s, after Jaramogi had insisted that Kenyatta comes out so that he can lead them as their leader, people like Daniel Toroitich arap Moi,
yes.
Huyu mwenye alikuwa anataka Mombasa alikuwa anaitwa nani?
Sharif Nasir.
No, the other one who died in an accident. Ronald Ngala, they formed it was which party? It's not KAU. There was another party. And to them they were saying, we are not yet ready for independence. Moi, yes. Ronald Ngala. In fact, recently when President Uhuru formed a statue on Ronald Ngala, there's a lot of uproar. This is not a nationalist. He didn't want our independence to come. He wanted independence to be delayed. And Moi was in that bandwagon before they joined KANU. And when Kenyatta now took over power, the reins of power, Kenyatta made sure that he made his succession. He knew very well that he would die at any time within this period. Akaweka Moi, because Moi was giving a face of stability by that time. Yes. When he died, Moi took over. When you walilinda Moi, or people like Ronald, the former AG who died, Charles Njonjo. Those are the people who left him. President Moi became bad after 1982 coup, when now he was provoked. Then akabadlika for good. And that is what even Deputy President today has done to President Uhuru Kenyatta. He's trying to cause a coup, in Mount Kenya on the president. And I am telling you, when you take Sagana today, the lion is going to roar.
No, the
and he's going to bite.
What is the surprise that he's going to come
and therefore, let me give you I'm giving you. I know I'm on the floor.
Please let us give him a chance to respond to that.
I am flowing.
Yes.
And as I finish, so that he can see where to interact, which is there will not be any, because I'm thorough on it. After Moi left power in 2002, he was now going home. Moi formed his succession plan. Akangalia, akona mtoto ya former president hapa, whom he promised his father one day maybe promised that he will lead. Though time is not ripe, but he can introduce him now. Moi knew very well that Uhuru would not win. The kind of intelligence Moi had, the kind of investment he had in intelligence, Moi could have not have made an error imagining that President Uhuru by then could have won. That is why,
but 10 years later, he became
mtoto wake, ule mwenye alimtoa kugawa kura ya Wakikuyu 92 ili Matiba asimshinde. Huo Kibaki akamtolea, akamwanzishia party. Viwe Musalia Kibaki alifungulia Musalia party 2013. That is what happened. He introduced Kibaki. And therefore, in 2002 when Moi was going home, he had two candidates. He knew akiendorse Kibaki openly, wakina Jacom watagang up against him, we will not win. Uhuru Kenyatta will also protest. And therefore what he does, akachukua Chris, anasema Chris ndio anataka president, lakini nyuma yake ameweka Newton, asha negotiate na yeye. So Kibaki made his succession plan, nani Moi. In fact, in 2002, if Moi wanted to go back to power, he could have won again. He could have. Who could have
by
stopped
just
Moi?
diverting the attention from his candidate.
Wasimamishe huyu na simamishe Musalia pale na simamishe, which is very, Musalia can be simamished every time. The last part of succession was when Kibaki was leaving power. Kibaki knew very well that there was a narrative in 2007 about Kikuyu. Him coming out to support President Uhuru Kenyatta by then was a finance minister and deputy prime minister. Actually, he had already resigned as finance minister. He was a deputy prime minister. He was going to bring a problem. So what did he do? He made the government system to be pro-President Uhuru Kenyatta. In fact, there was a time wakina Musalia na wakina Raila walikuwa na complain. How comes that a deputy prime minister can be able to chair cabinet? How comes that apata outright as a president? This guy, Kibaki want this guy to be in power. But on the other side, Kibaki said Musalia. Ujue anatafuta scapegoat na kumbe ameshafungua barabara huko. You cannot tell us right now that President Uhuru is so helpless, is so useless right now, that is going home, that when you are a father in a house and you know your days are going, you are dying out of a disease, and somebody cannot tell you vile unagawa shamba yako. Useme ndugu yangu mkubwa hii. I want to tell this manafiki wa Kenya kwanza. I want to tell them one thing. President Uhuru is rowing today. The lion of the mountain is rowing today.
Let me tell you something, Oyola. From your own analysis,
and they will run.
Could it be right that His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta is not for Raila to succeed him?
Possible.
Because from whatever you're saying, he might be just telling people. Because many Kenyans believe, honestly,
it is
possible. Skyrocketing prices of food in this country, with the economy being bad, with the high debt, you get to be burdened. Could he be just trying to lie to Raila Amolo Odinga, diverting the attention from his real successor, who might be Justin Muturi.
Kenyans will not forgive him for that if he does. But all the same,
Why?
Kenyans.
But
Why?
Chris and many others.
No, Kenyans from where? From
No,
border.
it is dangerous to play. It is very dangerous to play Raila Odinga and Ruto at the same time.
No.
It is extremely dangerous.
It is
No,
not
it's
dangerous.
not
It
dangerous.
is the safety of Kenyans at the
Yes,
end of the day.
yeah.
Because
Which
if we have
Kenyans?
the candidate of Justin Muturi being the president of this
Yeah.
republic, in that
Okay.
arrangement,
Yeah.
then Kenyans will have won. Because Kenyans will have gotten an integrity.
But you see,
A person with high regard to integrity.
the only problem that will come in is
Yes.
that unlike President Uhuru, who wakina Michuki had already given him a base.
Yes.
Akasema kama wewe unapenda, let me paraphrase what Michuki said. Kama kuna mtu anapenda jamii ya Wagikuyu
Apitie
na unataka
mikono ya-
kukuja kutuambia kitu, enda ambie president, enda ambie Uhuru Kenyatta, atakuja kutuambia.
Yes,
That is what Michuki said.
exactly.
Uhuru had a base.
Yes,
Kibaki had a base.
yes.
But Justin Muturi has not yet built a base because his base has been penetrated by William Ruto under UDA. Let us be honest. And he has penetrated Mount Kenya so much. Especially UDA imeshika vijana wadogo ambao wako below 35 years. This wenye alisema wamegraduate juzi hawana kazi.
Hata below 35. So huwezi anza kujifanya. And you know you need to say also even you are below 35 years.
No,
if
like my
that's the
friend-
case, then it
Yes.
means even you're supporting William Ruto. Is it not true? You're below 35. I'm sure you're below 35.
So, Chris,
of
are you
course,
trying
I'm
to
below
say
the
that
line.
any young person below that 5
It is him who said. So I was asking him, do you support William Ruto that you're below 35?
They're below 35 in Mount Kenya, not from Nyanza. As we have gone through a lot of marginalization since in Western Kenya, we know how painful. You know, I was telling some guys yesterday that Mluya na Mjaluo na makabila mengine wenye wajakuwa karibu na serikali, they are still having ile trauma ya marginalization. They have not yet healed. That is why a small thing wanatokanga nje na emotions.
Yes.
Ili watoe ile hasira iko
Ile
nje.
yote.
Wako na hiyo trauma bado kwa roho yao.
Yes.
Oyola,
So
you-
that is why we are different.
Oyola, you
But
made
this
your
generation yenye wana history ya juzi ya Facebook na
you made your
Twitter
point.
Yes.
na mzinga.
You made your point. Let me also get to the floor. You know, you cannot take 10 minutes and I'm just watching you and all that. So, you know, Newton,
Yes.
you've talked about Justin Muturi, that is it because that Uhuru Kenyatta might be playing this card or this card.
Yes.
Justin Muturi is a good candidate, and you've said here, and he needs to work on that. Let him get to the ground. And it's also being rumored that he's a man of deep pockets. He need to demonstrate that. So
You know, someday back, just before you continue, our friend Oyola mentioned that for you to get power,
Yes.
you must have money,
Yes.
you must have the army,
Yes.
and you must have the people,
Let's
the
in
masses.
fact, it is
No,
four.
it
It is four. Now I'm just giving him. I know I'm the only one qualified
Just
to
a
say
minute,
that.
just a minute, Chris. He reminds my listeners about that. Yes.
For you to have power, it's called state power,
Yes.
raw power, where you can kill someone
Yes.
and only God can question you. Nobody can make noise. If they make noise, they disappear.
Yes.
That is what power is. Number one, you must have the military by your side. After having the military by your side,
Yes.
then you have what is called the economic men. People with money. The James Mungas of this world, the Masharias of this world. After that one, you go to the third tier, which are the politicians, the people like Boni Halwale. You know, when you the mouth,
Yes.
you know, they talk, but there's no money.
Yes.
But you can hire and buy them.
Yes.
You see, because Newton, human beings, and then the last part, you
Yes.
have to have trade unions like COTU, you know,
Civil
NAT,
societies.
civil society, student unions.
Yes.
I am teaching him power. You see, Newton,
Yes.
human beings are controlled through two things.
Yes.
The first one,
Yes.
if you want to control a human being,
Yes.
whether it is a man or a woman,
Yes.
patia fear.
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 It's still fear.
That is why the state rules. You know, the government employs around 200,000. But they are ruling 50 million. Not because of anything. Because
Fear.
of fear.
Yes.
They know if you play with a police officer, they will come with a lorry here. So people say no.
No.
Number two, if you want to control a human being,
Yes.
give them hope. Give them hope. That is why churches are millionaires, are making money through the business of hope. Unamwambia no, that is what UD has done. Yes, we are giving you hope. We will give you
That's your point.
50,000,
That's your point.
50
Because we
million, billion.
Yeah.
And therefore, power, there is a way power works. Everything in life has got a formula.
Yeah.
If you want a woman, it is prudent that you must of all approach her.
Yes.
express yourself to her.
Yes.
You don't just pick and I have picked you are my wife. No, it doesn't work like that.
No, make your point. You made your point.
Yes, Chris. Yes,
You
Chris.
made- you
Finish
You
up
need to
your
pay me for that consultancy. I cannot really read all those things and you want me to say yeah, for
It's
free.
it's big rumor that JB Muturi has deep pockets.
Pockets, yes.
So you need to that war chest.
Yes.
He needs to come out. We're waiting to see JB Muturi doing a meeting, a youth meeting in Lamu. At the same time, on the same day, he does a meeting in Nairobi, then he does Lamu, then he
Ndiwa.
goes over to
Ndiwa.
Kwale. Then the following day he does in Meru, then he does it in Kisumu. Those are the things we want to see because it has been rumored. And the rumor is, sometimes, you don't have to assume. It's being rumored that the man has built a serious war chest for this presidency. Yes, and people.
So it is possible for him.
No, for the next 4 months, he has to really come
demonstrate.
out.
He has demonstrated. But he also said,
Yes.
I saw the NDC, the resolution said,
Yes.
he is not going to negotiate.
Yes.
He will only negotiate after election, not before elections.
Yes.
So I think he's a man who has decided to go to the ballot,
Yes.
and he has to sell himself to Kenyans.
Yes.
So I know you've said so many things until you've confused me. But either way, the show I want to.
Icon Radio.